Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I'm going to show you how to cut up a chicken, debone a couple of the pieces, and remove the pulley bone or the wishbone from the chicken. When we were kids, my mom used to cut up the chicken, and for myself and my sister, she'd cut the wishbone out of it so we could make a wish on it. So let me know in the comment section if you've ever seen the wishbone in a chicken before, and if you ever did that when you were kids, or if you still do it. You might still do it. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that, and we'll get started now. So with the chicken, if you get the whole ones, it's a lot cheaper per pound to buy them that way than it is to get them deboned or to even have them cut up by somebody else. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our wings, and we can turn it over, and we can see here on the back we've got a natural shape to where our wings are. So I'm going to use two knives. I got a smaller one and a larger one. So the smaller pieces, I'm going to be using a smaller knife on them. So you take the knife where you see the actual crease here, and you can just cut down into it and pull it back. And you can give it a pop back. And you see the wing where it releases from the body of itself. So just give that a cut away from it, and you've got your wing released. If you're going to be making chicken wings, you can do that, and you can split the wing here where it is. So you can take that and cut that down the middle where that joint is. Come up from the bottom, cut it, and you've got the wing cut into two pieces. If you don't want this other piece on here, the little end of the wing part of it, you can definitely take that. You can feel right here in the section where that is, and you can just stick your knife down in it, and it'll cut down through it. All right, so now that I've got the bottom of it sliced here, I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can definitely see where that natural joint is, and I'm going to put this down on the counter here, and I'm just going to take my knife and just run it down through there. So you've got the tip removed away from the other part of the wing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that other piece. Again, we're going to look for the same joint in the shoulder. Give that a pull back. You'll see the wing come away from the section where it is, and just give that a cut away. Now, if you want to cut the wing tip off now, you can do that. You can look here in this section. There's a section right here. You can see where the natural joint of that is. Just run your knife right down in it, and that wing tip will come right off. Same thing for the other part of the wing. If you want to cut that apart, feel for the section here where the two sections are, and you can run your knife right down between it and cut that right in two. Come up from the bottom and take the rest of that skin off. You've got your two pieces. Moving on to our legs and our thighs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to debone it, and the other one I'm just going to cut it off the chicken. That way I can show you both processes, how to debone the leg and the thigh, and just how to cut the other one off. So what we're going to do, as you can see here on this chicken, there's a natural fat line where this is. It's just a white line that runs through there. You can take the knife and just kind of give that a cut through, and that'll release that skin so you can see down in it to what you're looking for, and just follow that around where that is, and we're going to cut that skin away. All right, so now that we've got that released, we can go in there with your knife, turn it up on its side, and you can grab that piece where the back is, and you can snap the thigh where it is, snap it right out. And now you've got your thigh and your leg. I'm going to go ahead and remove this other piece out here, because I'm going to show you now how to debone this leg and this thigh combo. So what we do is you take your knife and you want to run it down the side of the bone here of the leg, and just got to give that a cut down to where you get down to the bone, and you can pull that apart and you can see where that is, and you want to continue to cut that around the sides. So now that I've got the leg bone exposed there, you can go ahead and take the knife and come all the way up to the tip of the actual leg there itself, and you can see that meat just comes right off of it. And just take your knife and just kind of run along the side of it, and then cut the corner of it off here on the thigh, on the leg. And you can turn it over and cut the back side of it off. You can run your knife under the bottom of it there and go ahead and cut that off like that. Now once we've got the meat on the leg exposed here and the bone is exposed, we'll do the same thing to the thigh. So you'll take the thigh bone itself and just follow the meat where it is on the bone, and you can just cut that off just like that. Pull that back and continue cutting around it. You might have to turn it over and come up from the other side and do a little bit of cutting on that end. And then that should release a lot of it, and you can take your knife and just kind of run down between the bone, and that'll release that meat from the bone, and then come up all the way to the edge of the thigh and pull it back. And then you can work on the joint with your knife to remove that meat that you've got there left. Same thing on your leg. Just bring your knife up to where the bone is and just continue cutting around it until you get it completely cut off. Now you've removed your leg and your thigh from there. You might have that little gristle piece that's left behind. If you did that, you can definitely just take your knife and cut that off. And there you go. You've got your leg and your thigh deboned. It could not be any easier than that. And we're not going to throw these bones away because we'll save these, put these in a baggie in the freezer, and this will be used for our chicken stock when you make your chicken stock. So now that you've got that deboned, I'm going to go ahead and work on the other side. Now, if you don't want to debone your chicken as you're going, you can definitely go ahead and cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the leg and the thigh from the other side, and we want to do the same thing. Just reach in there, get that skin, and cut that back. Pull your joint back where that is. Grab your knife and just come in and follow that line where that bone is, where you pulled it from that socket from the thigh, and you can cut your other leg and thigh off from it. Now, if you look at your leg and your thigh, you can see there's a natural fat line that runs through here. If you hit on that, just on the inside of where this is, closest to the part of the leg, you'll hit that joint. I wouldn't say every time, but you'll scare it to death if you do. So just grab it just on the inside of it, take your knife, cut down, and you can see I went right through there, and just go ahead and cut the rest of it through. There you go. You've got your leg and your thigh separated. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the back from the breastplate here to remove that part of it. And once again, we've got natural fat lines that we can follow. So if you look at this side here, this is your breast and this is the back. There's the natural fat line that you can follow through there, and you can grab it and take your knife and just cut down through there where you're on the one side of that fat line, and you can cut that in two, and then grab it and do the same thing on the other side. Just cut through that natural fat line so that you can cut that in two. Now I'm going to take my other knife that I've got. We're still following that same line. I'm just going to come back through and to take it back to that section where that wing was, and you can cut through that bone of that plate and do the same thing on the other side. Here's your natural fat line here. We're going to cut through that all the way back to where the wing was. All right, now that we've got that pulled apart, we've got the back and the breast separated. You can take your knife and now come through here and just cut this section off and remove the back from the breastplate. All right, now that we've got the back removed, you can take it and cut it into two pieces. There is a section here, you can feel it right here, where you can run the knife right down through it and just cut it right in two. We'll save these pieces and we'll use this for our chicken stock as well. Now for the breast. These breasts are really big on these chickens that we've got now. You can take it. In my other video, I just came through the middle of it and just cut it down the middle. But today, I'm going to show you where the actual wishbone is on the chicken. So you can feel it right here. This is the wider part of the top of where the breastplate is compared to the lower part here. And if you put your finger right here in the middle, you can feel that bone where that is, where that stops. And this part here is where your wishbone is. So what you want to do is just take your knife and just run it right down next to that bone. We'll take it and turn it around on the other side. And that will release that so that you can get down under it. And what we want to do now, you can feel the bone. The tip of the bone is right here where that is. And you just take your knife and just run it down the front to get that bone so that you've got your pulley bone cut away from your chicken. And you want to be careful with this because you don't want to break it, because we want to make that wish for that. All right, we're going to continue to cut that. I'm going to bring my knife up from the bottom and just cut that through and cut that skin there. And there we go. You have your, we'll put the skin back on it, and you've got your wishbone that's cut right here. You can see where it is right here. This is the wishbone, and you can cut that, and then once you eat it, you pull it out and you make your wish. So let me know in the comment section if you've ever cut a wishbone out of a chicken before? And if you've ever done that where you make the wish who gets the bigger piece, or maybe your family always did the smaller piece, let me know in the comment section which one you did. So this is the wishbone now that's cut out of the chicken, and we'll go back and take care of the rest of the chicken breast. So you can take it now if you want to, and we can split it down the middle, or I'm going to try to see if I can show you here what's left of it, of how to debone this chicken so that we take that chicken bone out of there and you've got the breast meat left. So if you've got this upside down and this is what's left of the bone that's here, you can take your knife, and I think I'm going to switch to my smaller one here because I can use that just a little bit easier. And what you want to do is you just want to get as close to that rib cage as you can and just cut as close as you can to it and just follow that around. You can see that's coming off nicely there on that, where that came off. Now we'll do it, come around on the other side and do the same thing. You can feel the rib cage where it is here and just grab your knife as close as you can to the rib cage. Cut that off, turn it around, and come in from the other side. And just continue to work around it until you get it all cut off. All right, so I've got my meat separated from the rib cage. So now we're just going to come in with a knife and just cut it until it falls off of it. There you go. You've got the rib cage left. We definitely want to save that for our stock. And you're left now with the chicken breast where it is. So you've got your two pieces of your chicken breast. You've got one here and one here. You can cut those down the middle. And now you've got your chicken breast here that you've got, plus you've got your pulley bone. That is how easy it is to cut up a chicken and debone the parts of it that you want. And especially we cut up today, we cut that wishbone out of this so we can make that wish and have that luck come to us in the future. I hope this has inspired you to try cutting up a chicken. And if it has, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you do cut up a chicken, have you ever cut the wishbone out of one? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. And if you've ever deboned one, have you ever used the technique that I used today? If not, let me know in the comment if you do anything different. I'd love to hear from you. And check out one of these other two videos over here. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.